Hello, it's been a hand action. This time it's coming from Ryan on Patreon. As you know, the Majourney Whisperer, the Madonna Whisperer, taking me on a Majourney. Now, housekeeping. The Oprah and the VMA performance has been blocked on YouTube. I've disputed it. It is the most annoying thing when you've gone through the process of cutting, editing, getting through the copyright, and then they ping you once it's already been up. It's just like, whatever. So it's totally blocked because it's got like video footage, which is always the most annoying to get around copyright. So if you're here on YouTube watching this and you haven't seen that, you probably won't be able to see it. It's on Patreon though, all uncut. All my Madonna stuff is on Patreon uncut. It's on the channel. However, YouTube is YouTube, so I don't know how long things last for really at this point. Regardless of all that, we are here to go in with the MTV Ultrasound Inside from 1998 and then Madonna Raw Footage MTV Interview from the Frozen video set. So very keen, oh Frozen, yes, sick, that'll be sick. So I'm very keen to see, I guess, the creative process around that. Very keen to see the MTV Ultrasound. I'm gonna guess it's hopefully it's not an ultrasound about her baby stuff, but maybe it's just an interview. You know it was coming, my Aldi Red Bull knockoff until my Red Bulls arrive. If anyone wants to sponsor me with Red Bull, I'll be more than happy to accept. All right, enough chit chat. Let's go straight in with it. MTV Ultrasound Inside. Let's go.
Madonna takes us inside the making of her
All right, cool.
album,
This is
Ray of
what I
Light.
have been very keen for.
But you didn't know that. A little bit of trivia.
I know that.
Okay. Don't get loud,
Yeah.
Kurt.
Hey,
Ultrasound
it's with
goes inside the
Kurt.
studio.
That's cute.
Joy of living than I can ever remember having before.
She looks so good. I know I
Inside
say it every time,
Madonna.
but truly, this
How do you feel about it when you look back? I mean, just the effect you've had on music and on people's lives. Do you see it in a different way now than you did when you were undergoing it?
I didn't have a clue. And why did people let me have my hair like that?
For the past 15 years, Madonna has reigned as the chameleon queen of popular culture, shifting images with each new record, movie, and of course, that book.
Literally already chills.
Self-examination or self-discovery. I think that's definitely going on in every song. The joy of living than I can ever remember having before.
Love is a bird, let all the hurt inside of you die.
I think I've always been on
Let
a
all the
journey
hurt
that
inside of
I
you
feel
die.
like
That's
I had,
cool. I always
like, a
thought
huge-
Frozen was such a sad
I don't
song,
know,
but I guess it is
call
quite
spiritual.
hopeful.
I think after I did Evita and after I had my daughter, my life sort of took a turn, and I just started to focus on more than anything was living in the moment and enjoying each moment instead of going, oh, I just want to get through this. I just want to finish this record. I just want to finish this video. I just want to get through the end of this. That's your attitude. Then your whole life, if you look back on it, is just
I
constantly.
suppose, already pausing it, like we're like 3 minutes in, but I suppose that's so relevant now with pop music. You just have to keep going. And I've heard a lot of people speak about this, you know, not really enjoying what they're doing. It's a job. It becomes a job, obviously, but you just, you know, you got to get the next record out. You got to get the next single out. You got to do the next music video. It's always just what's next, rather than enjoying the moment, being grounded and having fun with what you're creating. I guess anyone that's creative that then becomes famous, like she's spoken about, you know, fame is this consequence of, you know, being super creative and being able to do what you want. She's saying it all already. It's just, it's so relevant still now, and it's nice to hear her speak about this stuff. Like I said, the stuff she speaks about isn't spoken about often, but it's nice to be able to relate that to other, you know, major pop stars that we have now.
To be finished rather than really enjoying the moment and being in the moment.
This doesn't sound like anything you've done before, ever.
My goal was to just work on a record that I wanted to listen to all the time. Well, the only way to get that sound is to work with the people that make those records. So here we are.
Exactly.
William Crunch bites,
Bubbles.
chewiness.
I can't really describe it. I mean, it's not really anything.
Computerized, I would say.
There's a lot of synth stuff, but there's actually a lot of electric guitar stuff, something I haven't used on records for a really long time.
Could you play something for us?
Me play?
Does she play?
Oh, God, no. All my ideas are in my head. I just say what sounds good and feels good, so maybe that comes in handy.
Now, what has been your role in this album?
Just helpful friend.
He's the guy that comes in and like withholds all compliments, and then we have a nervous breakdown.
Have you killed any?
Pushes us another step further and says, maybe you should try this, or I really don't want to hear that. And then, of course, it creeps into my brain, and then later on in the day, I'm thinking, maybe I should have done a background vocal on that. And I'm happy to report when it doesn't.
Did you change the name of that song?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, what was it called before?
Never mind. These are all Williams guitars, and he goes insane in here. Okay.
See, I love how honest she is about what
I
she
know
does
nothing
with
about
the
any
albums
of
and
those.
like what she puts into them.
This is my little garden.
I always picture this being like an enclosed booth sort of situation, but I
Well,
guess that's...
sometimes they have that, but I don't like that. If you put my headphones on, you can hear them. Hello? Kurt? You there? You hear the effect? First, I choose the producers I'm going to work with, and I sit with them, and I play all my songs that I've been writing. I go and I write with different.
So she sounds
musicians.
good.
You have the lyrics, right? And you have the melody.
When people
and-
say like about her voice,
I keep a diary and I write in it, and I write poetry and stuff, and I just take a snapshot of that and I kind of rearrange it into a song. Did I do that wrong? This song I've definitely been writing as we go along. We kind of saved this for last. I have an idea, and they have an idea. They put stuff on the track that inspires me. I lay a buckle down, that inspires them. No inhibitions around each other anymore. We get a flow going. Then we kind of get into creating stuff. I'm not like this all the time.
I love the studio stuff. It's such a cool insight. It's like the creative side of it all.
It's almost psychedelic, dare I say.
Yeah, drug music without drugs.
Yeah. Is that possible? I guess it is.
None of us are on anything. It's possible if you have really free people.
Yeah.
Because ultimately that's what drugs do. They free your mind and give you the feeling like you have...
Did you ever have a drug period where you did like LSD or anything like that?
No.
The classic. Nothing at all?
No.
Wow.
No, I missed out on the whole drug thing.
So you're just in touch with your...
Inner self?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to think I am. I used to think I was in touch with my inner self, and then I realized that was my inner ego.
What's the difference?
Because the ego is all, gratification for yourself alone. Not very much sharing and kindness. And the writing of this record and the working on it allowed me to be much more free and experimental. How cute are these shoes?
Her and
The
shoes.
last
Oh
time
my
we interviewed, I
god.
was showing you, Manolo Blahniks.
Really like her and
Let's do
Kurt.
one more.
Okay,
Surprises
let's
with
do
someone.
Little Star.
What was the inspiration for this?
For which?
Little Star.
There's so many other songs. Oh my god.
Otherwise known as Lourdes Maria.
Ew, that sounds cool.
When we're like 3 chords away through the song, and if she grooves to it, then we know we're in the right place.
Is she pretty accurate about that?
Oh yeah, she's.
Does she fool with the controls at all? That would be interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I reckon I would love a remix of the song.
Madonna started questioning the direction of her own life when she became pregnant during the chaotic filming of the movie Evita. Turned to the Jewish mystical tradition of the Kabbalah, which now permeates her life and her 13th album, Ray of Light.
That's wild that it
What
says
was the rest of
13th.
But I'll only put 13 on because 13's a lucky number.
It is?
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's why boys get bar mitzvahed at the age of 13, by the way. It's the age when the soul gets completely, like, sort of solidified in your body. It's when you
Just one
come
of those-
into your own.
It's one of those Kabbalah things.
Like, you don't have to be Jewish. Just come and take, study. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, leave. The whole idea of cause and effect. For every action, there's a reaction. And that you absolutely are the master of your destiny. That you have to take responsibility for the chaos in your life. You can't go...
I think if most people
"Oh,
live by
happened to
this,
me,
the
and
world would be a
this
better
happened to me, and I'm a
place.
victim, and this happened to me. It's like you pull in what you put out, basically. And if you want to have goodness in your life, then you have to give it.
They're literally playing, not the worst songs, but
But
I don't get why the others aren't
Catholic,
getting highlighted.
All religions have meaning to me. I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for Catholicism. I mean, there is a mysticism to Catholicism, but I find that the Kabbalah and other religions or philosophies that I've been studying sort of, they're more adaptable to modern living, to modern life.
They
One
make more
comforting
sense,
thought,
although
I
like
feel that
Catholicism
there's a lot of
is just so
similar
aesthetically
things
pleasing. Hey,
With the Ray of Light album,
magical, mystical powers in the desert.
Are you supposed to be a character of some sort?
I'm a mystical creature in the desert,
That's fun.
and I'm the embodiment of female angst.
You?
Yes! That's my stand-in, as you may have guessed.
Oh my God.
Do you have a relationship with your stand-in and all?
I never do. I try not to get emotionally attached to them because then I feel sorry for them. Because they're always cold or longer than me.
oh my
Let's go
god.
back because, I'm getting a sunburn. No, the director won't like that at all.
Oh my god.
masterminding the pro Chris Cunningham, best known here for an unearthly Aphex Twin video.
I think she saw the
Ugh.
Aphex video. In particular, her videos, actually. There are a couple of videos that she did that I remember seeing and thinking, that's brilliant. I remember seeing Rain when I was a bit younger, and I
That's so
thought that was
cute.
beautiful.
I'm not kidding. It would look really good.
Yeah?
It would.
Yeah, let's do it then.
Be open-minded.
Yeah, I am.
Not.
You can direct videos yourself right now. As you know, Mariah Carey is directing her own videos. I heard she sneaks in at night and grinds the glass for the lenses.
She's very brave.
Yeah.
I would never want to direct something I was in. I don't want to have to keep jumping back and forth. It's hard enough. I mean, I don't know how you can do both well. I really don't. You're a guy and you just don't care.
So guy-like.
Because guys just don't care, let's face it.
What do you mean by that?
And in fact, they can look bad and get away with it. Not that you look bad.
Thanks. Is the tour that'll inevitably follow this, I hope, going to be a vast, complex undertaking?
And then it will become a vast and complex undertaking. I've imagined visual elements that I would like to have, but I haven't
Yeah, I'm
yet put the whole
keen
thing together
for the
yet.
rail light tour.
What old stuff you might do on tour?
None.
Nothing at all?
Really sort of Neanderthal version of me.
Really?
Really amoeba. I'm very fond of her. But I mean, this is what I mean about I didn't know the impact.
Frozen is absolutely one of her best songs of all time. It's so timeless.
I don't even want to sing Vogue, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like that's like 100 years away from me. Songs are they're like tattoos, you know what I mean? It's like they represent a time in your life, and if you've really moved on, it's hard to go back there and sing it with feeling.
Can you go out on the road and
I like
just
that
do
comparison
the
to tattoos.
Nobody won't.
Glad you asked that.
Very cool. I love them two together. Like I said, love that comparison to tattoos. They represent such a moment in your life. And I suppose, obviously, you get tattoos forever, but there's definitely tattoos. I've never been someone that would say I'd get rid of them. I probably wouldn't even bother with it. However, there is definitely tattoos that I wouldn't care if I didn't have anymore, just because you move on, but you can still look back at them fondly and go, I know why I got it, and things like that. Love them together. Such a cool insight. I love seeing just her in her natural habitat, just talking, chilling, and, being that comedic person. She does that not a lot when she's joking with someone. As always, so easy to listen to, so inspirational, so relatable. Let's go in with the raw footage, the MTV interview, Frozen on the set. So we're still there. Very cool. I'm going to presume, she had a few different news people coming in at a certain time. Let's see what else she's going to give us.
Gee, this is like a movie.
Oh. What?
Somebody told me that you took the tot to her first concert recently.
I did. Yeah, she was very enthusiastic. She was on my...
Her eyes look so weird in this. Unless it's just the lens.
A lot of people give up discovering things about themselves when they're 22 or something.
They give up?
Don't you think? I mean...
Oh, well, that's a tragedy if they give up.
Aw.
I think I've always been on a journey. I feel like I had like a huge, you would call it a spiritual awakening. I don't know, I think after I did Evita and after I had my daughter, my life sort of took a turn. I just started to look at life differently.
Yeah.
I realized how blessed I was, and before I was just taking things for granted. Because I had a baby, I started to really question things. My own mortality, what my purpose on this earth is, and enjoying each moment instead of going, I just want to get through this. I just want to finish this record. I just want to finish this video. I just want to get through the end of this. I mean, if you do that, and if that's your attitude,
So I guess it's just
then
like the
your whole life,
uncut
if you look
version
back on
of
it,
the interview.
You talked about Frozen before, but what is a song like Skin about, essentially, if we may say? What is it about?
Obsession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you an
Desire.
obsessive sort of person yourself?
Oh, yes. But just desire and wanting something.
Do you see romance as something coming back into your life, or
It never left.
how is your romantic life? I suppose.
I'm not answering that question.
Not directly, but maybe we could
my-
go around the edges of it.
My romantic life is excellent.
Ah, good.
But I don't think that romance has come back in my life. I think I'm probably just exploring it more in my music. It certainly gets better if you find somebody that kind of forces you to dig deeper. You know what I mean?
Sure, naturally. You seem like a much happier person.
Do I?
So, yeah.
I am. By the way, I'm not happy every day. I have my dark days.
Oh,
It's always darkest before the dawn.
I've heard that said. Actually. It's funny that Chris doesn't want to mention the word gothic about any
Chris
of this.
Cunningham?
Yeah.
No, he's very shy.
He's a very gothic character. I mean,
Veronica Electronica?
yeah.
She's gothic, but she's medieval.
Isn't gothic that sort of like a morbid romanticism? I mean, why do you think people are attracted to it? Because it's very popular in various modes, especially among young people.
It is.
It's
Well,
very attractive, I think, to people.
well, it definitely explores the darker side of life. Futuristic world we're sort of hurtling ourselves into. It's kind of the opposite of that. Looking at the past with the eyes of the future. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's sort of
The record's very futuristic in a way. The sounds are
It
very...
is, but I'm examining my past.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
true.
mean?
Like even Frozen
So-
sounds so fresh, but it's
What elements of your past
it's such
are
a
you
nostalgic
examining?
pull
Your
because it's so
fame, your
relatable.
success?
You know, people who say, oh, I'm not a role model, right? I mean, even people sort of viewed as being superficial have an impact on society, you know? So, but I'm much more aware of it than I was before. I didn't have a clue. A little bunny hopping along. Who was I?
What's your favorite hairstyle from that period? Would it be...
From that period? What? Which period?
Well, that...
Just a plethora of bad taste.
Now, this thing that you're wearing now, this is a wig, of
This
course.
is a headache, okay? My head is killing me. This is me refusing to dye my hair black. I like to think of it as a black octopus on my head, basically.
Veronica Electronica, this is a character, and she has these attributes, and have you devoted a lot of thought to it?
Yes. Yes and no. I've thought, but then I haven't thought.
Ah, well, the classic.
Cool.
You see, words just can't,
They
Really?
can't. You're so right about that.
they just can't really describe my feelings. And then it will become a vast and complex undertaking. Yeah, I mean, you know,
Obviously,
Until
they've
I
taken
get-
the highlighted bits that suit the
just
show.
like my record,
But
until
so
I get
much
to
of
the
this,
day that I
so
start
much
to
cooler
do
than
it,
just the cliche stuff.
my Neanderthal version of me.
So brutal.
Really amoeba, like unformed.
I love
Go
Kurt's
back
like,
on
oh,
someone you don't like.
oh.
When you started out. So when are you rolling? Yeah. Okay. But when you started out doing the songs for this
That's
album,
there.
did you have a
Point was when I started working
Yeah.
on the record.
Check time code for me. 56, 7. Change work right now.
So tedious.
There's nothing more to
Should be okay. We're not going to stop again. Okay.
something that was never present in art before, I would imagine. That you have to take into consideration all the technology.
You're back up.
Well, that's why we all have nervous breakdowns.
Although you've managed to avoid that so far.
Yes, I have.
As far as we know. Unless you were willing to
I have.
go public with it right now.
It's so interesting because obviously that stuff is just the bullshit that she has to put up with, and I guess it kind of takes you out of that moment and having that genuine connection, like she's having with Kurtz. It's so refreshing to see someone just be so real about it, and like I said, you don't really see this stuff anymore. And I don't know, you probably get a lot of backlash now. You'd probably be seen as a diva or whatever. I guess for her, they're on set of Frozen. They're speaking about the album, all the spirituality stuff, and having someone just say stop, just like powder your face. I guess it really dehumanizes you and makes you then feel like you are a product, which I've seen Taylor Swift speak about in terms of she doesn't want to ever not feel like a human, which you can when you get to these huge heights, because you're not a human to the public, you're just a product. So very cool. As always, I know she's come first, but it's just so nice to see that refreshing side and just that vulnerable and relatable stuff, and just a cool side of fame that we all know, but it just gets glamorized, and I guess Madonna's able to showcase it, and it just feels so genuine.
She's imploring her lover to be open.
Yeah,
Imploring.
fucking melt your
Or
heart.
humor is like sort of presenting the options.
Oh, you have this choice,
Yeah,
and that choice. I can be that way too. But not when I'm in love.
Oh, are you in love now? I hate to keep coming back to this, but
Then stop talking about it.
I'm not answering that question.
daughter has heard Little Star. Is it her favorite track? Do you think
Isn't
you
the
should
kid
stop-
like a few months old?
And William will be doing it, the whole thing? Or are you going to shop it around?
Veronica and William will be working on this record together, and she's going to be very angry if anyone's wearing clothes with colors on them on stage.
You're all dressed in black. It's odd, isn't it?
Yes, but I like odd.
Do your friends say to you that they've noticed a change in you? Has it been that apparent?
Yeah, they borrow money more from me now.
Oh, excellent.
I've become much more generous.
Well, we can talk afterwards. That would be good.
You look much healthier. I'm not making a joke. You look really healthy.
Really? Well, it's a long story. But
Okay.
you stumbled on something.
Oh, okay. Let's get back to me.
By all means. Yeah.
Okay. How's it working with
But he likes cute girls, so if I just like promise him cute girls, he'll come on stage.
Well, you can get anybody to go out with you. You can promise them that, probably.
Exactly.
Have you become interested in programming yourself? I mean, does that attract you at all? Or are you that kind of obsessive person?
No. No.
Is that a
It's
producer?
not on my
What they call it now?
personality.
So I'm going to go back up and do all the night work and transfer tracks back and forth.
Oh, so boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get it out there. Ooh.
Wait a minute. This just in.
Notes from the.
What's Chris Cunningham like to work with?
Yeah, that's
he
his
seems to be really
one.
preoccupied with what he's doing.
You know, video. He was given more than $5 to like. I think he's incredibly gifted.
I wonder what else he's done now since
His
this.
directors and editors and everybody that I'm working with has the same vision that I have.
Mm.
I don't mind leaving them alone to work on stuff. I mean, obviously they're going to send me cuts and stuff.
A control freak about everything, or have
No.
you always been like that?
No, that's just my reputation.
I
Don't
swear
ask
she
me how I
used to
got
say
it.
she's a control freak.
Do you follow sports? Are you a sports fan?
Oh my God.
Like women's sports, women's basketball? Or do you play?
Sports?
Yeah.
Gross me out. No.
Forget that question. All right.
Okay.
The most she's probably
And
played
how's
is
Maverick
in a
doing?
league of
Anything
their
exciting?
own.
So we're just calling the show 1515 now. I wonder if maybe you'd like to.
Sounds very mysterious. 15. There's significance to numbers, you know. Let's see, 15 and 15. Let's see. 1 and 5 is
That's 12.
6. 6 and 6 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 is a lucky number. That's good. I like
So
it.
it's not the mark of the beast or anything. It could be a good thing, that 1515 for us.
Yeah, it's very good.
Huh?
3. That's why Ray of Light's the third track on the album. A lot of really significant things happening right now.
I have to say.
That was
when
a
I
cool
hear Louis
segue
Farrakhan
from
start
just
talking
that
about
question.
numerology, you think there's significance in
Well,
numbers?
do you buy anything Louis Farrakhan says? Okay, numbers, and I think certain numbers attract things that other numbers don't.
Oh.
I don't think you want to get into this with
No,
me.
probably not. Is it a long conversation?
It's a very long conversation, yeah.
Well-
It's a 12-week course, basically.
Have you taken a course in this?
Um,
Well, not a course, but I mean, if you've studied with people, I suppose. Or
well,
talked.
actually, astrology and the Kabbalah are very, I mean, numerology is a really big part of it.
But the lyrics to smack my bitch up and the whole protest about.
Oh, yeah.
it goes
Oh,
on
do we
the whole
have
now.
to? Well, what if,
Did she say yeah?
That's what she said.
oh,
I know it's sort of an old thing, but
okay.
MTV played it. I thought was good of them.
God bless you.
Yeah.
She does not care.
I'm not about to tell any artist on my label what they can and can't say.
I want to know what they said now.
And there are things
And
I
like
like
it?
more than.
And-
Yeah, I gotta like it.
Yeah.
There's a few things that have slipped through the cracks, but
Really?
not anymore. Those days are over.
Is there any one group that set you off on this?
No. Not that I care to mention.
Okay, and we don't want to talk about your love life, of course. We've been through that already. Well, you're free.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Again,
Thank you.
sorry for adding to the burden of everything.
Oh, that's all right. At least I got to keep my shirt.
Isn't it so wild, like all this behind the scenes stuff from an
You
interview?
and
It's just like so many people around you all the time. Such a wild world. And there we go, some more interviews done. Very cool. I like seeing, obviously that edited one was cool because you got that studio footage, and then just seeing that real uncut, you know, definitely upload that to Patreon, Madonna. Just having all the nitty gritty stuff in there. It's very cool to see how these interviews come to life. Definitely have not seen, you know, an outcut from an interview where you've got all those, you know, stuttering and, you know, him looking through his page and things like that, which was cool. Very nice. As always, she just leaves you with thoughts. She provokes you. She inspires you. I love her take on things. Yeah, she's just so much more poised now. Even this interview, there's a lot of less arms. It's very direct. And she still has that real power aura around her, but it's still pleasant. Like, she's not afraid to still call it out, but she's definitely more relaxed. And I guess, you know, she's got that relationship with Kurt as well, but it's controlled, but not, if that makes any sense. Cool to hear about her record label. Cool to hear about, you know, I guess her process when it comes to the songs. I love, I guess, that numerology stuff as well. It's nice to see that there's tracks, you know, have meaning where she's placed them and things like that. I love that she didn't even know it's her 13th album, so even that is quite spooky. As always, I mean, whenever she has interviews, they're always just so engaging and you just love her even more after every single one. I think I just repeat myself now after every interview. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. The full uncut is on Patreon. Hopefully this will make YouTube at some point and it won't get blocked like the Oprah one, but who knows at this point. Very keen to see what else Ray of Light has to offer. It definitely feels a very fully fledged era, very fully fledged project, which makes sense obviously with how much has gone into it and things like that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Full uncut Patreon. Thank you, Ryan, as always. The king, the queen, the messiah, the Buddha, all those things above, the god. Other than that,